Using this camera for a week gave me an idea. I, Becca Farsace, dare you, dear viewer, to downgrade one piece of your tech for at least a week.
So for a while now, I've had this idea to downgrade my laptop to Samsung Dex for a full work week. And I think this might be the excuse I need to take that plunge. If you've never heard of it, Samsung Dex can basically turn your Samsung phone into a little computer that runs mobile versions of apps. All you need to do is connect the phone to a monitor. Once it's running, you can use your phone like a trackpad and type on screen. You can also pair a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse to the phone, which gives you even more of that full computer experience. On top of this challenge from Becca, I also remembered that Nilay from The Verge had once tried to do something like this. Check this out.
My dream, Alex, is that I would commute with nothing. No bag, no laptop. I would just have the fold. I would do phone stuff on the train. Then I would get to the office and I would use Dex. And this would be my computer at work. It's not unusable, I would say. I mean, it's basically just a Chromebook that sucks.
A Chromebook that sucks? I mean, it's been over a year since that video, so I'm sure it's better. In a way, I think this might be relatively easy. A large amount of what I do on a computer is answer emails, do research, and script out videos.
There's this thing here. I feel like I need to cut it off.
And try to not get distracted doing all that. After some digging, I found a portable monitor from UPerfect and sent them an email to see if they'd be willing to help me out with this idea. Oh, they said yes. There's one thing about doing this that I think will be challenging, and that's video editing, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I want this setup to be as similar as it can to a laptop, so I can just pack up, go to a coffee shop, and not be too concerned if I can't get near a seat or an outlet. Alright, the monitor arrived. This is the UPerfect Touch G16 portable monitor. Reminiscent of an iPad, it magnetically connects to this sleeve that acts as the stand. On the left side are your video connections through either USB-C or mini HDMI. On the right, you have a USB-C port for charging and rockers for your volume and screen brightness. The display also has stereo speakers up near the top. Internally, there's a 10,800 mAh battery that should last you around 4 hours before you need to plug it into power. This monitor has a resolution of 1080 and runs at 120 Hz, which makes this a great choice for a portable gaming monitor. So I should be able to plug the phone in, and there we go. So this is pretty sweet. I'll connect a Bluetooth keyboard and use the phone as my trackpad, and I'm pretty sure this will work. So this first day started off great. All the apps I've downloaded and set up in the phone are exactly what show up in Dex mode, so there really wasn't much setup to do. I answered emails, did some research, and a little bit of scripting. There are some quirks with the keyboard, mainly just that I'm used to using certain Mac shortcuts, which, when used in this situation, actually quit Dex. Everything was going great until this. I forgot to charge the monitor the night before, which is a silly mistake. And I also forgot to bring an adapter, so I went home and charged the monitor for my video editing meetup later that day. At the meetup was where I ran into my first actual hiccup, which was video editing, but I did come prepared with a few different options. The first was the YouTube Create app, which seemed like a pretty solid idea at first, but there ended up being an issue where I couldn't import footage without losing sound. Next I tried CapCut, and that actually worked out pretty well. Luckily this monitor is also a touchscreen, which is helpful when you're trying to edit using a mobile app. I was able to edit a short for the Ultrahuman Air Ring while in Dex, and then ended up publishing it directly from the phone later that day. While the week went on, I found that I didn't actually mind using this whole setup. The portable monitor is basically the size of a laptop, so it fits perfectly in my computer backpack. All I really need to take with me is the main cable connecting the phone to the monitor and a charging setup that can charge the monitor itself. And what's great is the 25 Ultra actually gets charged from the monitor, so I really just need to make sure that I have one charging solution and be near an outlet. Oh, and just so you know, I did try and use the Logitech MX Master 3S mouse with this setup, but it had issues with being able to select and click on certain things, which was a little strange. Fortunately, the trackpad feature on the phone screen works better than expected, though the click and drag I found to be easier just using the touch screen. After a full work week of using Dex, I gotta say, the idea behind this is ambitious. It's impressive that Samsung can pack this ability into a smartphone operating system, and it would be very interesting to see what a version of Dex could look like from Apple, though I have a feeling it would basically just be iPadOS. If I was someone who just needed to answer emails, take notes, and do research, this would be a super compelling setup. For my situation, using a setup like this takes up about the same amount of space as a laptop, and isn't quite as capable or as powerful. I do think the idea of having a second monitor with me could be really awesome, especially when I'm video editing. So that'll definitely be a setup that I explore now that I have this portable monitor. What I'm curious to know is if something like this would work for you in your current situation. Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you again.